Guys, I've been playing Rust for a very long time. This last like about a month of playing, I've just like really been struggling to have like a wipe that I've been satisfied with.
Hey noobs, how you going? Tonight we're gonna watch a Blueprint video that's come out. I think it's about a month old now. He talks about the state of Rust and how he's feeling with Rust, and I thought it'd be interesting to break it down and put a solo's perspective on it, a solo role player, a solo. I wouldn't want to call myself a casual gamer, but I guess I am. You know, I've got a job and I've got a family, so I'm not putting 8 hours, 10 hours into it a day. So yeah, a perspective from someone else. I'm not going to try and pause it too much unless I have something that I feel like like I can speak to or I have a bit of a passion about. And the first thing he said here,
I've just like really been struggling to have like a wipe that I've been satisfied with.
Yeah, it's a shame that he's not having fun playing Rust at the moment. I don't have this issue right now. Like, I'm having a ball every time I play a wipe.
and I think it's because I just goof off and have stupid missions and do random things. I don't play the meta. I think this is where obviously Blueprint's been playing this game for a long time, so it's a solved game at this point. And I feel like this is the same issue classic WoW and vanilla WoW Andes have. They can rush through the game so quick, they know everything to do, the meta way to get there, to streamline it, the quickest way to do this. And so they sort of speed run through the game and they get to the end and then they say they're bored. So I don't know if that sort of comes over into the Rust world with how Blueprint's feeling here, but maybe it is. Maybe people are still just trying to play the same way and play the same meta and rush to the end. I don't know. I seem to be having a lot of fun and I never get to the end.
I actually just thought of a good example of this where the opposite happened. I don't know if anyone saw the recent like oil rats and Wilgem video where they weren't allowed to touch land. It really looked like they had an awesome wipe. I think they had a lot of fun by the looks of the video versus his other videos these days. And I think that's because they're playing different. They're giving themselves their own set of goals and they're goofing around and they look like they had a lot of fun.
And maybe it's just like bad luck. Maybe I'm burnt out and I need a break or something. But something I've just been noticing is like Rust progression just really needs an update. And a lot of this game really needs an update.
I definitely think he's right with the Rust progression update. Even though I struggle to get anywhere near T3 or even that sort of stuff research he's wiped, it's usually because I'm researching stone fireplaces or car parts or something random. But the most fun I've ever had was going from vanilla Rust to a Wilgem server where the tier 2 and tier 3 the workbench tech trees were locked. And it was amazing. You had to go and explore to find stupid items like garage doors were so hard to get. You had to find extended mags for your weapons. And just this slight hiccup in the progression made it so much more fun and it engaged you for a lot longer.
I think that adding like all of this crazy content, like the jungle and stuff, like looks cool on paper, and it was really impressive to see the jungle. But correct me if I'm wrong, it's been like almost less than a month. It's been like a little bit more than a month, and jungle is like the hype is kind of dead already. No, I feel like the hype of the jungle died within 2 weeks, even though it was like the biggest content patch Rust has seen in a long time. So correct me if I'm wrong there, guys, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right there. Like I've asked around with other people and they agree, at least like people in my circle.
Yeah, I think he is right there. I like how he does say that within the circles he's in. I'll take my spin on this. I like the jungle. I don't use it anymore, but I do like the things like the cats, the big cats, the AI, the animations of crocodiles, big cats, things like that, snakes. It's an eerie place. It scares the shit out of you. And without the big cats, we don't have big cat pies and things like that. So he's right. It was a bit of a waste of time, but there's a lot of cool stuff that has come out of it.
You know, the reason why I'm doing this with you guys is because most of you play Rust or at least watch Rust, right? And so I know that it would be better to ask you guys as well and get kind of like an idea from chat. You know, chat is notoriously great to ask questions. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're basically talking about Rust and just kind of having a little conversation. And so yeah, today I'm going to be talking a lot about all of that. I've prepared a list of good, great, bad, and ugly, and how I'm going to be using this Google Doc is I'm going to be going through all of, well, not all, that would take a while, as many as I can. I'm hoping to at least go to the combat update, which was in 2022.
This video for me is probably only going to go to the updates where I started playing Rust, which wasn't that far back. But feel free to watch the whole video on Blooprints YouTube channel. I'll put it up. I'll put links up.
And so I'm basically going to be going through these, going through each update. I'm probably just going to like quickly scroll through it, or just scroll to the bottom where like the actual like patch notes are easy to read, all the way at the bottom here, and just go like, okay, B catapult bomb. Where do I put it? Right? I'd probably just put that in bad, right? Because like no one's going to use it, and the only people who are going to use it are trolls who just want to make raiding miserable, right? You know, obviously you guys have your own opinions as well, but yeah, that's going to be the aim of today. I want to start by saying that I think Rust really needs a progression change. I've been preaching this for a long time, but it is just like you log into Rust, at least for players at my level, which there's a lot of players at my level, but you basically log into Rust and you get to tier 2, tier 3, finish your base even in the first day. And then there's just not really any other objectives other than to PvP people. But most people kind of just like focus on their base and chill in their base. And
everything he's saying is so true. I went on a normal server the other week, and there was like 250 pop online. And I roamed for about 8 grids and saw like 5 roof campers and no one else. And then not 2 or 3 days ago, I jumped on hardcore. There was 35 people online. 35. And I was like, I'll go to a farm. Everywhere I turned, there was a player doing something. I had more player interactions with 35 population online than I did with 250 on a normal server.
there isn't like a progression level past like, okay, we did first oil rig, we have tier 3, now what do we do, right? It's just like you get there so fast, it comes to the point where there's like not really an objective anymore. Like cargo swings around, and if you get a lucky spawn, maybe you can head to harbor and you get some good PvP there, or someone takes launch, maybe a big fight will happen there. But what I find myself like really wishing for is just more things to do that bring people to those monuments. Like I think that when you open the map, at all times, there should be something at water treatment, there should be something at missile silo, something at sat dish. Like you open map and there's 3 places to go. No matter where you live, there's something to do. I think that having things to do, a hotspot for people to go to, no matter where you live, would create so much more activity on the server. And also, yeah, like you said, like Bradley launch fell off. Like if launch pops off and you're not near launch, it's pointless to go. If oil rig is on the other side of the map, you're never really going there unless if you have a mini copter. If cargo spawns in and it's at the top and you're at the bottom, you're not doing anything there. So you're waiting 3 hours for cargo to spawn. Oh, it's unlucky spawn. Now you gotta wait another 3 hours for something interesting. First day monuments is Warzone. Second day barely anybody. Exactly. Like when I play a Monday server, I literally struggle to get a base down sometimes for the first 3 hours. And like you go into train yard and there's people because they all need those shitty crates. They all need like the couple of military crates to find their first gun. They need the recycler. What happens to train yard after 6 to 7 hours of the server? It's dead because everyone is either running, one clan is running the missile silo, someone's running excavator, and then everyone's doing like labs and oil rig because that's where the best crate is. That's where the best crate loot is. So you're saying add a tier 4? No, I'm saying that every monument needs a massive revamp. I'm saying that there needs to be a reason to go to train yard. Like there needs to be an event where you kill AI or something to get like a locked crate like Chinook. Or maybe it's like a few elite crates, even like some elite crates, man, like something where it's like, okay, there's AI that spawned at this monument. Let's go fight them. Everyone goes for a reason to get that chance of an AK. But if there's no chance of an AK or those high tier loot stashes at train yard, why the hell would you go there? Like later in the game when you already have a box of comps, like there's genuinely no reason to go unless if you're hoping to find some PvP and happen upon some poor guy recycling with a P2. Right? Like it's important to have those monuments for solos to go to, for small groups starting out and late in a server. They need like a low-key monument to recycle at so that they don't get jumped all the time. But we also need to make sure that there's options for those later game players, because at this point, later game is 6 hours into the wipe.
We're circling back here now to the problem that people meta the fun out of the game. 6 hours into wipe? Mate, I'm lucky to have like a tier 1 down with a few things researched 6 hours into the wipe.
Clans can get shit done within hours and have tier 3 within an hour. And at that point, all they're doing is running rig and then raiding people or waiting to get raided. Like, dude, the way this game plays is just sitting in your base waiting to get raided. Like, I'm guilty of this as well, because what else do you do? Some people don't have 6 hours on wipe night. Yeah, and that's totally fine. People progress differently. As someone who plays this game all the time and for long hours, like at least 8 hours, I don't play every day, but when I do play, I play for at least 8 hours a day. You just like progress so fast, and everyone around you who's also playing the game on the same level, which is most groups you run into, are also progressing at that same speed. There's a lot of learning to this game. It does take, I would say, like minimum 2 to 3k hours to really be like super comfortable. There's a lot of exploration that's required to know where the crates spawn and all of that. I think that a lot of people started playing around January 2021 or around the combat update, which was 2022, like May or something. And those players are now getting those hours that make them more experienced. And I feel like I'm feeling it now on servers. I've just been getting bored of the progression. I think that like there's no reason for Underwater Labs to have the loot it does when Trainyard is just terrible. Like, why is it that cargo ship, oil rig, Underwater Labs, like harbors that dock oil rig, all of this stuff is like on spawn beach. It's on the beach. There's almost no reason to go N14 and build inland. You get airfield in Radtown. Like, Radtown is the worst monument in the game, and it's almost one of the brand new ones. How is a monument that requires you to have 28 rad protection and like 5 crates getting added in 2024 or 2025? That's my main complaint about the game right now, is just how unalive a server would feel despite it being full pop. And I think progression is to blame. I think not having like events to go to is to blame. I think that when you see airdrop inbound and a plane goes over you and doesn't drop an airdrop because it drops in the snow and you're in the grass, it's just like, what's even the point of seeing that toast? Like, it should drop 2 to 3 airdrops on opposite sides of the map, because people in the snow aren't getting the one in the grass and the people in the grass aren't getting the one in the snow. But if you drop an airdrop for both of these sides of the map, then it gives people things to do. First thing that's going on in your brain is, okay, is a clan controlling that? Do they have a tower overlooking it? Is it even worth going? But if you see that AI spawned at Trainyard, you're going to be like, okay, maybe me with my like P2 could go to that and stand a chance. Maybe no one will show up and I get a crate, you know? The thought of maybe there's a chance that there won't be people incentivizes less skilled people to go. And then maybe there is a chance that there is people incentivizes more skilled and more experienced players to go. But if you have Bradley getting taken at launch, most people that are like lower tier are like, I'm not going to that, fuck that. But higher tier are all going to that. Or maybe they don't even bother either because they're like, okay, it's a roof camper who no way I'm going to that. The player base is the problem. Yeah, so how can you force that player base to do something? Right? How can you force the player base that is roof camping, sitting in base, looting their tier 1 monument and doing nothing else but progressing just as fast as if you were to build at a tier 3 monument? How do you force them to do something, otherwise they'll fall behind? Or how do you get people who are trying to have fun on the server to go and fight people and find player interaction while everyone else is sitting in base? I think it's by creating more reasons to go places. Because 6 hours into wipe, you have all the comps you need, so it's pointless to go farm a monument for comps. But if you go to a monument for PvP, if you go for the chance of an AK or explosives, it's more worth. It gets you out there. So
Has Rust ever tried like gating it? So tier 1 for the first 2 days, tier 2 for the next 2 days, tier 3 for the next 2 days, and then that way everyone stays for the week?
launch and rigs, exactly. But even launch is dead sometimes. Like, rig is almost a guaranteed place to go, and it's in the freaking ocean, in the middle of nowhere. Like, realistically, you can only access that place with a tax of scrap with a boat, or running all the way over there to that shore and swimming over with diving gear. Like, if you make launch the same caliber of oil rig as in terms of like reason to go, holy shit, it would be insane. Like, this door right here, this massive door, like you swipe red right here, this whole door opens and Bradley literally like strolls out and then you take it. I think that's a suggestion H-N had, and that's like, in my opinion, genius. Like, that would actually, like, imagine like clans now have a reason to do puzzles and get red cards beyond like oil rig if they live there. Like, why the hell is Missile Silo as loaded as it is for blue card? It's a blue card, and you get more stuff than you would from launch site. You have to navigate a green card swipe and a fuse, and then you have to run across launch, avoiding Bradley and players to get to this fuse, put it in, flick it, turn the switch, gain rads, so much rads that you need to drink water and take rad protection and use cloth, fight scientists, get to the top, and you got 2 or 3 elite crate spawns. And you get that. You get that. What the fuck is that? I would literally come up here, loot these crates after all that work. I'd run straight to this railing, and I'd fucking jump off. Silo has an ungodly amount of scientists. It's true, but you're underground, so people can't hear you shooting them. And it's also a controlled area. Like, if you know what you're doing, it's a lot better than launch site. I'd much rather fight those guys than these freaking guys hanging out on, like, scaffolding, shooting down at me through, like, little pixel peak and dealing with that in darkness. When you say, like, monuments need specific loot, I kind of agree with that. I think that they should almost behave like biomes do, where you know you're gonna go to the snow to get sulfur, you know you're gonna get stone in the grass, but you can still find sulfur and stone in those monuments, right? In those biomes. But what if launch just had a little bit more pipes? You still get gears, you still get everything else, but it's like, I really need pipes. Then you're gonna go to launch. I really need springs. Airfield spawns them a little bit more. I think that would be really cool. Like, dude, when I was playing No Tech Tree on Blue Lagoon, I needed a med. So I went to water treatment because I know that there's some med crates that spawn there, found a med kit and recycled it to research a med. Like, is that not just like a super cool way to get people to go somewhere?
All right, this is exactly what I was talking about with the Wilgem server. So Blue Lagoon must be Blueprints servers, and he's got them locked as well. But it is amazing when you can't find a med stick, or you can't find a laser sight, or a garage door. You spend 2 days searching for it. It's so much fun.
So yeah, guys, I think that rounds up that section of our talk. Now I'm going to get into the juiciness of going through all of Russ' updates, figuring out the great, good, bad, and ugly.
I might skip through every point he makes because I don't really want to talk to like the B grenade and things like that because they are stupid. But I will stop it at relevant points that I want to touch on.
Filter and soda can craftable silencers, and reskinning the current silencer into the military silencer. Military silencer, genius. Making the silencer uncraftable was huge because snow became just silencer whiteout ugliness. And it's still that way, of course, because people are going to be finding silencers, but it's way less.
He's so right. It makes me wonder, like, is making a lot of the items uncraftable better for the game, where you have to go and find it instead of sitting in your base crafting items?
You know, or I can see it being way less due to this. Solo nerf, though, it's true, but that's why they added the oil can silencer. I think that's good. And I think, honestly, the soda can silencer is like, might as well not even have it. Pay to win skins are an issue? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That is an ugly. That is a big ugly. I'll just put that in there now, but that is easily one of the worst things in the game. There's nothing worse than dying to just fully whited out players that you can't see. It's really sad. Like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the snow is literally like the color white of like 0000. Like, it's like literally the most white on earth. Like, my Google Doc page is literally the same color of fucking white pretty much. Yeah, when you have skins that are also the same color, it's literally like you just can't see them.
I've actually talked about pay-to-win skins, and I think there's a decent solution where you can use the cooking workbench with pigments to be able to make dyes and color your skins. I'll put a link in the description to the video I made, but I feel like there's some good ideas to get around this and still keep camouflage skins in the game.
So if they made it so that the snow looked like this more, like the whole ground looked like that or something, it would look kind of ugly, but we're like, you see like that, this grass, maybe the snow is that color. I don't know. That would probably be their only way of fixing pay to win at this point. A water well vendor. Okay, so the concept of a water well vendor is good, but its implementation is bad. Like, here's what I think about it. I think that the water well vendor is good because it makes people go somewhere new and it gets you items that you may need, but it spawns in way too quickly. It spawns in on wipe which means that you can spawn in, get scrap, and buy a P2. I think it would be cool if he asked for something other than scrap. I completely agree with that. What if he's asking for rad pills and he gives you a gun? That would be so freaking cool. He's asking for berries, he's asking for corn, he's asking for stuff like that. Like, people who are farming can go and take the stuff that they farmed and get something cool like a SAR. That would be so cool. And then you don't even have to make it so that he doesn't spawn in right away, because no one's gonna have 40 red berries on wipe. But like, within a couple of hours or a few hours, maybe they'll have 40 red berries. And now if you're playing as a farmer, which takes hours, you're also progressing to get a gun from the vendor. That would make him so good. Maybe those farmers will actually roam.
Everything he said about the water well vendor here is spot on. It speeds up progression, gets people P2s way too early. But also, if he did sell P2s for something crazy like rad pills and berries, I think this is the sideways progression that we need to introduce into Rust, so people start doing different things, trying to break the meta a little bit, you know? This is the sort of things that the player base can try and regulate as well if they really wanted to, by killing the water well vendor and putting him on a cooldown. It's the sort of stupid stuff people used to do in WoW, where they'd kill the flight path just to slow everyone down. We need more players thinking outside the box as well.
Okay, premium servers. Premium servers is a great change. I think that will go in the great section. Everyone loves less cheaters, anything to be able to get less cheaters. Not to say that it's completely spotless, but it's a clear sign that they are trying things to get less cheaters in wipes. Crafting updates. This was a huge one. I actually really was excited about this. Okay, so we finally get tier 2 cooking after begging for ages. At least I know I was. I know my girlfriend was. I know people like Shadowfrex were. I don't know how many other people were, but this is awesome. Crafting update. Cooking workbench. I don't know if that's a great or a good change, the cooking workbench. Like, is it game-changing amazing? No. I think that it's a good change. But it brought me back to the game. Yeah, exactly. Like, these are the kind of things that get people excited. Okay, armor slots. This is a pretty big change, like the armor slots and the craftable inserts. This is a pretty big thing and like a discussion that people either like or they don't like. In my opinion, I like it. And the reason I like it is because I like variable stats to armor, to weapons, whatever. I love variable stats. And so when I loot someone now, and it was like some primitive guy with a P2 and I have like a better gun, and I loot his body, now I'm like taking his wooden pants if they have 3 slots, because I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. I'm not going to go as far to say that this is a great change, but I will say that it's a good change.
Armor slots are amazing. I love the being able to craft good armor. I like the variable stats, like Blueprint said. I made a whole wipe being a tailor creating armor. I think it's a great change, and I think this again is sideways progression and like giving you something to do.
Armor slot, armor, and armor plates. Yeah, okay. Polish and progress. Wolf animation. Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna say the wolf AI changes are bad from a gameplay perspective, but like kind of cool from a realistic perspective. Like how far they aggro range, way too far. I'm like, I will be on the other side of a mountain, I'll hear it howl and go like, oh, someone's getting attacked, and then it'll come for me from like over 80 meters away. I'm like, dude, seriously? Yeah, I think that the animations and stuff, like, it's cool to see the AI get so advanced, but it's so annoying to deal with. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for this one. Let's try and move through these. Okay, armed and animated. Oh, this is gonna be kind of cool. All right, tier 1 SMG. All right. I mean, come on. Like, the tier 1 SMG is so bad. Like, it is so bad. Like, I remember when I first played with this, it was fun because it was new. But, like, it is just garbage. Like, they need to add a little bit more damage to it or something. I don't know exactly, but it definitely, it needs a change. It's really bad. Tier 3 SKS. Dude, I might even say this is a great change. I think I'm gonna do it. I don't care what anyone says. The SKS is a great change because we needed a tier 3 craftable weapon, and this was like perfect. Do you guys remember that they were gonna make it a SAR skin, and everyone was uproar about it? They were furious about that being a SAR skin, and I hope that they changed their mind because we were so mad about it, and then they made it an actual gun. And thank God, because it is so good. We needed this gun. It filled like a gap that needed to be filled, and overall huge change. This is probably one of the best guns they've added to the game in the last few years. Okay, I don't think there's much else in this update. So, okay, this was world update as in rocks. Okay, this is another big one. World update. I don't know why this is the first thing, but added handheld diver propulsion vehicle. That is literally just meh. Has anyone used this?
I've used this, and I use this. I love this thing. I'm a weirdo, though.
Nah. 15 high qual and a precious tech trash? No. No. I am genuinely going to say with that crafting cost that this thing is straight up bad. It needs a buff. Legacy wood piles. Oh, that's going in the great section. Wood nodes are going in the great section. Huge change. I think everyone loves those. I swear to God, if I hear anyone say, well, it buffs clans, I'm banning you from the chat. Radtown Monument. Oh, I'm so excited to cook this monument, bro. All right, we kind of talked about Radtown today, but my honest opinion is despite the, 1 or 2 diesel fuel that spawns here, I don't want some lazy ass harbor puzzle that has like 1 or 2 milk crates. They need to make it so that there's a car lift and a green card, and then Radtown is instantly good. And most importantly, there needs to be less rads in Radtown. I know it goes against the name, rename it or something. And I know it's like a nod to like an old ass monument in the game, but the amount of rads required to enter the recycler room is ridiculous. And it makes no sense for a monument with this kind of loot in it. And you know what would make this really cool is if Chinook Crate dropped right in the middle of it. That would be epic. Bad.
I love Radtown, and for a few reasons that go against what Blueprint says here. The PvP in Radtown is so grubby and great. It's like urban warfare. I love it. Also, the fact that there's 28 rads to get into the recycler room is unique in itself, and it means grubs can't get in there. So it's a little bit safer, and it's 1 door in, 1 door out. Another reason it's safe. So it is, Radtown is like a solo's haven because you can scamper around between the buildings, have some great PvP, and you have a little bit of a semi-safe recycler, and you can get diesel. Like, it's great.
Radtown is bad. Okay, now we're getting to...
Okay, we'll agree to disagree.
The whole reason this is called the world update. I don't know why these aren't at the top. Magic rock formations. Getting some new rocks as well. The throne rock and the mini god rock. In my opinion, one of my favorite ways to build bases in this game is freehanding shit and building and these rocks and stuff like that. Adding these formations that can change a little bit with depending on the terrain was a great update. Yeah, these arch rocks are great. Some of them are a little bit unrateable, I won't lie, but it's okay having a couple of those on the map that are a little unrateable. Look at this. Look, this god rock is so perfect for like a smaller group, and it ends right. Oh my, wow, what an OP build spot. Holy. Time to kill. I'm pretty sure this was like not a very big update. It was like the digital clock was the biggest thing. Oh, huge update. Okay, next. All right, this is a pretty big update here. Road Renegades. Motorbikes. I honestly don't know where to put motorbikes and pedal bikes. I don't think they're great, but I'm between good or meh. Where are we at, guys? Motos good, bikes bad? Yep, I expected that, and I agree. Motorcycles are good, but bikes are bad. And the reason for that, well, I wouldn't even say bad. I would just say meh. I think that the reason for that is because bikes may be quieter, but because you don't have that speed, and because you're like, yeah, very exposed, it's very easy to get picked off. And also they run out of stamina very quickly. Yeah, it's just use a horse. Like the bikes definitely need a lot more stamina and they'll be a little bit better. And also they need to not take damage as easily because as soon as they lose some durability, They're like trash. Okay. Lastly, traveling vendor. Traveling vendor is, in my opinion, kind of bad right now because of how good like the high quality trades are. Some of it's like really cheap offers. I think that traveling vendor is good mixed in with the dynamic pricing, because now you can get a jackhammer for like 90 scrap. That I agree with. But things like how much crazy amount of high qual you can get. Let's see what the traveling vendor. Jesus. All right, so for example, this is ass, but for someone who's starting out on the server, maybe a pump for 50 scrap is pretty nice, or a custom for 140. This is a balanced traveling vendor. I'd say that's not bad. Okay, so this is where it starts to get a little broken. 50 high qual for less than 100 scrap. Insane. I think that it would be a lot better. Like, traveling vendor is a good thing if this trade is maxed out at like 2. I feel like everything here is fine to be in a traveling vendor, and the prices are honestly fine, but it's the high qual part that makes it iffy. I'm gonna put it at good, but I'm going to put the high qual trade at bad. Okay, yeah, I think that's it with that. Seismic sensor, great change. Seismic sensor is literally this game's attempt at making offline raids less of a thing. At least like they start offline and then you have to wake up at like 3 or 4 or 5 a.m. I hate what it's done to my lifestyle, but also it's allowed me to actually get the content instead of just waking up going like, we got offline to GG's. When Rust Plus actually works, it's amazing, but Seismic Sensor is a great update for those who are able to wake up to defend. But yeah, I understand most people have lives and it's not very useful for them, but for me, it's a great change. I don't know if there's anything else really worth looking at. This was a very chill update.
This must have been when I started playing, because Seismic Sensor was in the game when I played, and I remember the traveling vendor coming in. So this is about where I started. So we're going to wrap up most of the patch talk here. I'll jump to the end to show you his spreadsheet for what he thinks is good, bad, meh, and we'll just talk over that quickly. So I'd probably agree with all the ugly things. I mean, I don't mind the tier 1 SMG, but that's fine. Everything else. Train yard unloading, I think that's brilliant. I have a lot of fun doing that. Maybe it's a bit crap, I don't know. B catapults were bad. Blowpipe was good and then it got really bad. I don't know why they nerfed it so much. Like, it was a fun, maybe people abused it, but I thought it was a cool idea to have some sort of different weapons out there. Maybe they need to tweak it. I think Radtown's good. Handcuffs and hood I've never really experimented with. Looks like a bit of a weird thing. Traveling vendor HQM, yeah, it's broken. I think the 10-20% workbench tax, anything to slow down progression, I think should be in good. Hardcore game mode. I think he's talking about hardcore before the latest patch, because I think hardcore game mode is the only game mode I'm ever going to play again. I think it's absolutely amazing, and everyone I've been playing with on hardcore has said the same thing. Like, it's just awesome. The fact, like, going back to normal now and being able to craft guns and stuff just seems wild. Is there anything else? Big cat pie is good in the meh. I quite like that. Jungle biome, yeah, it's meh. It's okay. It's good. Flowers and plant pot. Plant pot is definitely great. Best thing of solo's ever had. Food spoiling's good. Promo, yeah. Shields, I love shields. Another thing that people don't use. Horse overhaul was amazing. Wolf animations were great. What else have we got? Everything else, 15 bag limit. Yep. Good. Oil, yeah, well, I think that's good. I don't think I disagree with anything in the good. Water well vendor. Again, it's okay. We just got to tweak it so it's not just speeding up progression. Yeah. He scrolls down here. What else have we got? Prototype. Locomotive? I think trains are amazing, no? Is that what he means? Barricade, demo, tutorial island, electric rotating. Yep. Good. Propane tank stacking. Oh, that was good. That was awful when they stacked to 5. Bendy drone Erling or not. All the vending machine changes are good with the stats and things like that. dive sites. I don't know the old dive sites. I use the new ones. I think they're good. Could be better. The lighting could be better down there. But anyway. So yeah, all in all, I just want to close out by saying Rust has been a monumental gaming shift for me. I love Rust. I think it's one of the best games I've ever played. I'd put it up there with Vanilla WoW. And I think it's, from what I can see, it seems to be going through the same problems as Vanilla WoW, where people have solved the game and they have formed this meta that gets you to end game so quickly that you then get bored. And I think the best part of Vanilla WoW, and I think it's evident, is the journey there. And you take away half that journey, or you speed through that journey, and you get to the end and you're going to be bored. I listened to this interview with Kevin Jordan, one of the WoW game designers, once, and he said his biggest regret for the Burning Crusade expansion was speeding up the time to drink and eat food to recover health and mana. I just think about that. That is a crazy statement from a WoW game designer. That was his biggest regret of the Burning Crusade, was speeding it up, speeding the leveling journey up. I think we just need to start doing different things, playing different ways. If you're getting bored of Rust because you're getting to endgame too quick, like Blueprint, maybe you need to take a break. Or the community needs to pivot a little bit and do something strange, like how classic WoW or vanilla WoW Andes, they started up hardcore because they were bored. They made up something within the game that was already there. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Give Blueprint a follow over on his channel and watch the full thing, because likely you have played a lot longer than me and you want to see the other updates that he breaks down. Leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think of the points I brought up, and does it apply to you? And it'd be interesting to get a bit of a conversation going. I like doing these things because I want people to like Rust. I have a passion for the game and I want it to succeed and I want it to get better. Cheers, guys.